Hello everyone and welcome to the Deep Blue Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deep Blue Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 91. Today is Sunday, June 14th, 2015, and I'm glad you could join me today. I'm actually going to quick adjust the camera, but you can see, or over here, that some of my flowers are peeking in, but the camera's just way too low. Can't do it. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, so you can still see a little bit of the flower there. So I have a hanging basket here. And I'm sure at some point the flowers will just keep getting bigger and bigger and more crazy. So I'm looking forward to it. It's sort of warm today. I do have my coffee though, so it's probably not too bad. Maybe it'll randomly start raining and then I'll panic a little bit and move the stuff from over here to over there. We'll see how it goes, but I had a pretty fun day today. I went on a little adventure to Fort Worth. So it was the case where I was meeting with Christina, who I'm going to be driving with to Nashville for SSK. Excuse me. Something went down the wrong pipe. So, because it's going to be like crazy in the coming weeks, I decided may as well do the thing now. So I was like, I've never been to the Madeline store. Do you want to go? And she's like, oh yeah, sure. And then she suggested a burger place to go to, which was really, really delicious. It doesn't look like much from the outside, but oh man, they know how to make a tasty burger. And then we went to the Madeline store, and that was very interesting. I got to pet all of the yarn, and I kept grabbing this one colorway in every single one of the basins. So I guess I just know what I like. But to start with, what is it? I think to start with is sock. So I finished my death socks. I still need to post it in the finished object thread, which I should do sometime soon, as my second chance to win a prize in the mega sale, and final chance. I just have one to show you. This guy is the second sock. I don't even think I had started this last week. The first sock is floating around somewhere. I had a party yesterday, and I found one of the socks in the bedroom, and it's probably going to result in a lot of laundry folding to figure out where in the world sock number 1 went. But it's somewhere. I took a photo of it. There's photographic proof, which is all I need for the knit-alongs. But whatever, sock number 1 is somewhere in my house. But I'm really happy with how they ended up turning out. So they're fraternal, but coordinated, and I think I'm going to get a lot of good wear out of these. So I had a ridiculous amount of time to knit this week. I was in training, full day training for 5 days, and that was just, ugh. So within the first hour, I asked the instructor, is it okay if I knit? And he's like, no one's ever asked me that question before, but sure. So thank goodness, that made it so much better. And so is the case where basically I knit 1.5 socks in whatever, my 40 hours of sitting. So that is the story there. So I'm glad that they're done, and that means I just have one project on the needles right now. So I have the Union Jack Argyle socks still in progress. This is sock number 1, just to show you what the little pretty pattern is. And I still haven't run out of yarn yet, but it hasn't been like I've been working very consistently on them lately. This is the only project on the needles right now, so I suppose it's getting more love than it has been getting. I should be getting more yarn from my mother-in-law Wednesday or Thursday, so I'm probably going to have to cast something new on in the meantime. I guess I don't even know how much I really even have. Christina suggested that I rip out the toe on the other sock and replace it with the red since I'm going to have plenty of red. But this is where I stand. So I'm running low. I'm still working on the gusset decreases. I think I have like 12 more rows to go. You can't even see this little sock. So I'm knitting it inside out. And it is coming along. So then fairly soon I'll be transitioning back to the zeros. Which is why, like, I haven't quite cast on, like, a new pair of socks, because I would want to cast on that pair of socks with zeros, so. Oh, the troubles. So, if it turns out I run out of yarn before I get to the zeros, then I'll go with that. If I run out of yarn while I'm on the zeros, maybe I'll just switch this guy to double points until the extra yarn arrives, or something. I'm not sure yet. But it is slowly but surely coming along. I don't, like, it isn't necessarily the project I always want to work on. I think because it did slow down, because I am not going to have enough yarn, so, but what can you do? Like, they'll be absolutely gorgeous when they're done, and they'd still look pretty cute with a red toe if that's what it comes to. I just need to get to the point where I can make a call as to which way it's going to go, so, and it shouldn't be a problem to finish these by the end of June. And actually, what is it? The death socks are actually the first socks that I finished this year. And the Union Jack Argyle socks are the first socks I actually started this year. So, I don't know. The Dear Sweet Lovable One socks tend to linger a bit longer, I think mostly because it's not knitting for me, it's knitting for him. So, that's the story there. And then on Friday, I managed to finish plying my yarn. So, was I even plying this last week, or was I still spinning the singles? I don't even know. I think my singles were done, and I was going to start plying it, I believe. Yeah, I think that was the case. So I was like ready to go, and then decided to go for it. So this is the Julie Spence in the what is it? In the Cherry Blossom colorway. It's about 5 ounces. I still need to weigh to verify because I didn't weigh when I had started. It's about 5 ounces, and it is 1,040.5 yards. So that means that I got my 200 yards per ounce, which means that this guy is a true lace weight. So I was really excited about that. And then I will hold it very still in front of the camera. So it was the case where whenever I had gray, it ended up plying on white or pink. So I didn't end up getting any gray on gray with this particular skein. But I am just so freaking thrilled that I finally managed to spin like a lace weight that I could actually knit with. Because technically speaking, I did spin lace weight my second try with the wheel. But honestly, that's probably the most horrible yarn I've ever made in my life. And that's including my first yarn. So, I am, and it's still like a little teeny weeny bit damp, so I shouldn't skein it up. But it is very balanced. I think I applied it about right. And I'm not sure what this is going to be yet. I definitely have, what is it? What was it? So, I was looking through the finished objects and handspun thread and Completely Twisted Arbitrary, and someone had actually knit a shawl called Regrowth, which is a free pattern. It has lots of Estonian stitches, and it's really cool. Like, it's the case where if I'm looking at lace shawls, I tend to like more fine patterns in them. But this was the case where it sort of transitioned from small and then increasingly growing bigger, and then smoothly transitioning to the bigger motifs, and I thought it looked quite stunning. I was trying to get Allison to knit it. and maybe this is just the case where this is my own, oh, what would you say? Like, making suggestions because that is what I really want to knit instead of making suggestions for what would be right for someone else to knit. It was like, this is what I want to do right now. So, so I'm wondering if this will be the right thing for that or if it'll be something else. But I'm just so very excited that I got the true lace weight. Oh, apparently some doves are hanging out now. Oh, they moved on. So really happy with how this ended up turning out. I am gonna have to wait a little bit before I break into the other colorway, so that other colorway is Pansy. And so I saw that someone had spun it up in the spin along as like a split in half 2-ply because it is a gradient. So I'm not quite sure what it is that I'm going to do with that one, but hopefully it also turns out to be a lace weight as well, because that would be pretty awesome. So yeah, so excited with how that ended up turning out. So this is Julie Spin's Plum Blossom in the 40% BFL, or was it 60% BFL, 40% Bombay Silk. And very thrilled about that guy. We'll just keep letting it dry outside. I guess it's been pretty humid lately, so I guess it's no surprise. It's been challenging to get things to dry. I did a great giant sock washing yesterday and a giant sweater washing. Like, I just threw them all into the bathtub with the wool wash, and my sweaters are still a little bit damp. So that is the story there. I did end up starting a new spinning project. Oh, and I made little skeins of my leftovers of my death socks. So I ended up separating out the end ply and the 3-ply. And I honestly really like how the end ply turned out, which is why I'm intending to end ply this guy. So, oops, that broke off. Oh well. So this is a part of my Spin the Bin. I decided that I probably needed to get working on it again because it had been a little while since I had spun something that I had said I wanted to back in, whatever, the end of January, or the end of December, the beginning of January. So this is, what is it? The Chamomile Connection. It's Polworth that I got at the Albuquerque Fiber Fiesta, which is from episode 0. So I've been sitting on this for quite some time, and I realized it was probably time to start spinning it up. And I'm working on my spindle, because I think I ended up bringing this along with me when I went to Boise, and then I was like way too sick to spin. What is it? I haven't done really anything with the fiber at all, and this is going to probably result in pretty long color repeats, but so it's Polworth. It has like speckles, and then it has like greens and teals and purples and sort of like a grayish blue sort of color to it. And I still have a decent way to go, but I figured that this was a lovely portable project. And then I was working on it last night during the party, because then it was an easy thing to pick up and put down as like my turn came for the board game. So so my plan is to spin the singles and then Navajo plaid, and they'll probably Navajo plaid on the wheel, because then I can continue to practice the the stuff that I learned in JC Boggs' class. And I think it'll end up being actually a pretty it's not gonna be, I don't think it's gonna turn out to be a fingering weight. I would say it's probably gonna turn out to be a bit heavier than that for the final yarn. But I'm just letting it spin the way it wants to be spun, and basically just spin it end to end and call it good. So I don't really have like an intention for it or anything. So oh, it sounds like the Dear Little Blue one has returned, but I can't see inside. Let's see. In terms of future stuff, there's probably 2 things which will probably go on the needles this week. Because having just one project, I don't know, it's not going to work. So I have the red Karen Simply Soft, which I think is going to become a windchief hat. And that'll be an entertaining little knit. I'm trying to pick, the gender neutral colors, so that whatever, it just looks cool and all that other stuff. And then in terms of socks, I threw it into my bag thinking I'd have a chance to finally cast on, but I didn't end up using up all of my yarn, is that I do have the Blue Suzanne, and I've decided to knit the check pattern with this. I think at this point I've satisfied all of the things I need for my underappreciated patterns cal, and the Jack is a really popular pattern. The short answer is it does a really good job with crazy variegated yarn, so I'm really looking forward to how this turns out, because I really do like the colors in Blue Suzanne. So more selfish knitting for that. Oh, it appears the Dear Sweet Lovable one is heading up to the shower, so well, what is it? I did snake some yarn in the house, so you don't think I went to the Madeline-Tosh store and didn't buy anything, did you? I totally had to buy something in the Madeline-Tosh store. And not only did I buy something, I bought a sweater's quantity. So I kept picking up this colorway. The colorway is deep. So it is, I would say, what is it? It has a very similar structure to Woolmeisa DK. And this is the DK Twist, which is, what is it? 100% superwash merino, DK weight 250 yards. What is it? And so it was the case where I was like picking up patterns and putting it down, and then I had sort of settled onto a pattern because there was a really cute shot model on one of the hangers, and then I tried it on. I'm like, oh yeah, no, this will look really cute. And so then I needed 6 skeins, and then I was pulling out skeins of yarn, and then found like the one, like a group which was 6 skeins of this deep colorway in the twist. And then I totally changed my mind on the pattern. So, I'm gonna have to look it up because it starts with an A. Alright, so the pattern is a dree. There we go. So, and no one has actually knit it. What is it? No one has actually knit the pattern in a darker color, but I do think that it would actually look pretty nice. It's a combination of, what is it? It's sort of a lacy sort of pattern. Sort of neat construction there. So this is a dree. And that only took 5 skeins, so that I think ended up making it a lot more reasonable for me. And I just kept coming back to this because the hand is lovely, and the blue is, well, you know me and blue. And then it was deep, and I'm like, yeah, I like deep blue. So that is the story there. So it turned out to be, what is it? Maybe a little bit more than I would normally like to pay for a sweater quantity, but the color was lovely. The twist was, or what is it? The yarn was very nice, and so it became a stash position today. I was pretty tempted by the, the 100% silk lace weight that they had as well. But yeah, it works out. The other thing that I was on the lookout was if there was a color that would go really well with the other two colors of Madeline Tosh that I already have. But it was just the case where if they had maybe like a paler yellow color, I think that would have went, but it was just the case where the yellow they had was maybe a bit too bright for that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just deal with it. So maybe some other time, or maybe I pick it up online. I'm not sure. Or maybe I just knit totally, instead of trying to combine all of my Madeline Tosh light into a single project, just knit separate projects with it. I think that would probably be the easiest way. And I'm like, what is it? It's the case where, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I'm like just sort of on the cusp of like all of these things that I want to make, and I'm just like decidedly undecided right now. Like, there is so much that I want to do, but I've been trying to just go through the grind of finishing the stuff that I already have and that sort of thing. So who knows what direction I'll go. Maybe it'll turn out that I cast on lace shawls for next week. It'll be hard. Like, it'll be hard to tell. And honestly, I will not be able to record next week. So next weekend is Father's Day, and actually both of our fathers are going to be in town, so I'm probably going to be entertaining them or working on some project in the house or going to Six Flags. I was driving by Six Flags today on the way to Fort Worth, and I'm like, I could ride roller coasters with my dad. And that was, that sounded like an awful lot of fun, so I let him know that it could be an option on the table if you wanted to, so we shall see. I think it would be a lot of fun. Or my dad and I will sneak off and leave Danny and his dad to work on stuff. I'm not sure how the plan's gonna work out, but we'll figure something out. Oh, what is it? But yeah, no. So it's very unlikely that I'll be able to record next week because company. And they're actually going to be staying for, what is it, from, like, they'll be arriving Thursday and then leaving Monday. So I find it hard to believe that there'll be time to record. But if it is, it'll be a surprise. But I would count on the 28th more than the 21st. Okay, so I guess I haven't updated my totals yet for Stash Dash. What was it? Because I did count my leftovers. So that was, what was it? So that was, oh, what is it? So I had, 112 leftover, or 112 yards of leftovers, and I started off with 500, so that should be a good addition to the Stash Dash totals. And the lace weight was it 1,040 yards, so hopefully that converts nicely into 1,000 meters, in which case I think I made it to 3K now, which is pretty awesome. Though I was spinning the singles for the lace before Stash Dash began. In which case I just have one more project I had going before Stash Dash started, which was the socks. Whatever. At some point I will, what is it, just have to be able to go on the power of my own knitting. Knitting and spinning. So, yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to throw, I'm not sure if I'm going to throw my chocolate Shetland fleece on the wheel yet. My wheel is clear. It's actually headless right now. I took off the jumbo flyer and didn't bother to put on the normal size flyer. Or what is it? So I have a different head for the, what is it, the jumbo versus the normal. And so now it's, whatever, a little bit different right now. So we shall see. I think I can stay pretty happy working on the Polworth and Chamomile creations and call it good. So, anything else I wanted to talk about today? I think that was everything. There was just, whatever, all sorts of fun stuff going on. And I'll probably just have to take it easy until with the SSK occurs, so. It would have been a little bit easier if I just bought one skein as opposed to a sweater quantity, but such is life. Get that all packaged up and into the stash. Well, I should photograph it, then package it and throw it into the stash. I was also, I was bummed today. So I ended up upgrading Firefox. And now I can't easily, put my pictures on Instagram onto Ravelry. So basically they effectively just blocked being able to highlight things, which is annoying because the way that Instagram takes pictures, they actually take two pictures and then sort of equalize them both. And so it's, So it's just like a little bit irritating because then I have to pick one of the pictures and both of the pictures aren't necessarily both good. So I might end up switching back to using the camera to take pictures, so I'll have to find the camera. Or I probably need batteries for the camera. But I'll probably still be taking pictures for Instagram. It's just a little irritating that I need to go back to the camera thing because there isn't an easy way to get photos, into Ravelry. Or I could pay the $5 a year and be able to upload from my phone. But still that has the same problems as... The double picture just doesn't work as well as the single picture, so I don't know why it is that there isn't like better integration or between Instagram and Ravelry and stuff like that. Though maybe it's the case where Ravelry is such a small fry they can't make it work. I'm not sure. But that's my little quibble for the day, because it turned out for a while I could do it in Chrome and in Firefox, and then Chrome wasn't working, and so then I was only having Firefox. And I don't really want to revert to an older version. Oh, technology. So, with that, I will leave you guys. I hope you all have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on June 28th. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.